Hi, David Elzy here with Awakened Life TV. Welcome to this episode. In this program in Awakened Life TV, I really explore how we explore together how to live in the world today with all the realities, including this one, the appearance of the coronavirus on the landscape of humanity. How we deal with that personally, individually, and collectively. How we can do so with something like that, as well as with our daily life, how to deal with our personal realities that this may be affecting, but also in every way that we live our personal realities. So we attempt to do this and have this program be a place where we can enjoy some capacity for stability and peace inside while we're going through life's ups and downs. Hi, Terry, Ellie, Judy. Hi, Ellie. Yes, when you arrive, please say hello. Send a thumbs up or a heart or hi, Camille. Glad you all are here, and there'll be more coming. So in this episode, we're going to be addressing the coronavirus and how to live a few specific ways to deal with it in a way that might bring both the humanness that we go through, acknowledging it, allowing it. Hi, Melanie. Thanks, Terry. Allowing the humanness that we all feel. And also, I'll try to make this short. There's so much to share. I've been coaching for all week, clients. That's my main gig, so to speak. And all my sessions had the coronavirus as a topic, in addition to some other ones that were important to people's lives, their relationship with their spouse and their children and life and their bodies and health. But the coronavirus was an integral part of every conversation. And so it began to become clear some ways to be addressing this that were fulfilling and helpful to make it through this time. So I decided to make this episode specifically about COVID-19 and how important it is for us to go through this together. So I have some pointers for you, some very specific ways that hopefully allow you to acknowledge fears, your concerns, your inner challenges. Hi, Nodi. And how to also find some level of peace, even in the face of such a thing. So that's what our episode is about today. So settle in, be comfortable. Let's do 2 gentle box breaths just to be together in this. Ready? What I invite you to do is breathe in and then exhale the oxygen and toxins that are in your lungs. Breathe in and out. Now breathe in through the nose slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 1, 2, 3. Through the nose, exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1. And one more. Breathe in. Hold. Notice the stillness. Exhale. Pause. And breathe normal. Now, after breathing exercises or yoga breath or pranayama, when you are in a hurry to move on, you've almost missed the point. So it's similar to what we're going through with the coronavirus right now and all the changes it's bringing. We sort of want to keep moving to the next thing, try to address it in the next way with the next level of anxiety that we feel based on our fears. But it really, our peace that we can bring to ourselves, even during these major concerns, really depends on our capacity to stop, to be still for a moment. And so that's why I teach the box breath so often in these episodes. It's because no matter what we're talking about, it's essential that we be able to slow down and come back to center or come back to our own being, not just our mentations, our mental ideations about life and the virus, but also who are we as those thoughts are coming and going. Okay, that's the essence of all of my Awakened Life TV episodes, but right now we're dealing with a major worldwide event. And so we apply those practices even now the same way. Okay, so I want to share with you a few things that have been beneficial for my clients this week. I've been coaching, hi Nishkala, dear friend. I want to share with you what's been arising to be supportive of my clients and myself over this week as I've been coaching all day, every day. First and foremost, I want you to know, my mother is 92. Many of you know this. She's in a nursing home, and I was going to go this week, but my lower back has a disc issue that I'm dealing with. So I really couldn't even get out of my apartment and into a car. But I knew that it was possible that her nursing home would be quarantined sometime soon, or at least no visitors allowed in. So I knew I was taking a risk and not pushing my luck and going anyway. I was tempted, but it felt a bit dangerous to do that. So I didn't. So last night I felt strong enough and right enough to go. I was getting ready, and my sister calls and says she's the power attorney, so they tell her everything before me. And she called me and said they've called me and let me know that there are no visitors allowed anymore for now. So I am dealing with this myself. My mom, who I adore and who adores me and my sisters, and I think we're the lifeline for her in many ways. We can't see her now. And I know that many of you are dealing with family circumstances where you have to make decisions, like my clients were as well, whether to visit or have families visit or travel or not travel together as a family group or not. All these questions are on the table. So what I had to decide was, obviously, I can't go see my mom right now. Hopefully that'll change, but the truth, I don't know. I don't know if I'll see my mother again. However, I'm sharing this with you because this is the reality we all face. And as I'm walking through it with you, I believe we can have more strength, more capacity to face things together. And there's various reasons that I'm saying that I'm going to share with you now. What I did regarding my mother, my sisters and I decided at 6:45 every night to conference call my mom. And when she hears our three voices together, she gets elated. It's already happened 2 nights in a row. The nurses work with us to make sure my mom's in her room where she feels more relaxed and safe and calm. And 2 nights in a row now, even my little great niece with her little voice says, "Hey, Gigi Ma," and my mom lights up. So we're doing the best we can. And perhaps one of the first things that we're having to face here that I want to support you with and how to deal with COVID-19 and the changes that are coming is first and foremost the principle, which is the same principle for all the videos that I do, is, as my mother said, her grandmother said, whatever is couldn't be any isser. Whatever is couldn't be any isser. Meaning it exactly is as it exactly is. Now we add on all the emotionality about it. And this is what I want to address to you today. There are 3 or 4 layers of dealing with COVID-19 or something as traumatic or large in this regard as this. The first, in the logical, rational, mental realm, is really essential. Be smart. Look at social distancing. Wash your hands repeatedly, intelligently. Clean surfaces. Don't gather in huge groups if you don't need to. Work from home. All these things that you've already been reading. Do them. That's step 1. That's be smart. I will tell you that when my back started to happen, I had to cancel events with friends and socializing events. And in the beginning, I felt a little bad about it. But I really invite you to own your own health and the health of others by not potentially infecting others if you either have already been diagnosed with it or if you have signs that you might, which might also be the flu or something else, but just stay safe. And thirdly, just be caring of yourself. The level of self-care that this virus is requiring of us is a heightened level that maybe none of us have really done. So that's one thing, the logical layer, the layer of rational safety. Do that. And this is what I've been having to tell my clients, because they'll call with emotionality or stress, anxiety. And we walk down this three-way step. The first is take care of yourself in the highest possible way. The second is the emotional content we have, which, by the way, is valid. And, stay with me here because this is very important. And when anything in the external world, or internal world, but the external world happens and it triggers emotions, those emotions we have are also personal emotions. For instance, with some of my clients, maybe they were raised in a volatile environment in their family. So the world was unsafe to them. So here comes something that you watch the news, and I really invite you not to, even though you may be staying home, you may be self-isolating or self-quarantining. I invite you, seriously, do not watch the news all day. I really invite you not to do that. Check in periodically if you need to, or even once or twice a day, but allow yourself still to have a life, even if it's reading or doing things that you've been wanting to do and just haven't had time. Just don't watch the news 24/7. There is this kind of hyper-vigilant, amygdala, primitive brain, anxiety-producing experience of watching the energy that emanates from the television or from the news or from the internet about this. Remember, collective consciousness is more based in fear quite often than in love or in health or in self-acceptance. Hi, Mariana, Christine, hi. So, do you hear what I'm saying? It's very easy to be supported if you're going to be home more by staying up on the news. I invite you not to do that 24/7. You may already know what I'm talking about. It contributes. I'm speaking from experience. When I was thinking about seeing my mom last night, which I didn't, I was watching the news, watching all the reports, the experts, the scientific neuroscientists even, and all those that were reporting, and I began to just kind of get filled up with all of the data, and it was rough. So I invite you not to do that. Check in periodically. Okay, that's one suggestion. The changes that are happening already and that are coming are both local, personal, literally localized to you, local to your community, your neighborhood, the city you're in, the state, the country, and the world. Flights, meetings, there'll be more virtual meetings. But these changes are going to be happening. They already are. My invitation to you is to deal with them as we were prior to the virus. Remember to come home. I mean, in your physical home, but I remind you that when I say come home, what I mean is return your attention to this present moment. Even amidst the craziness of what the world is going through. Interestingly enough, there is this pervasive stillness. I have friends who live in New York City off of Times Square, and they say it's almost like a ghost town. Strangely enough, it's this eerie silence, and yet simultaneously, the silence is a beautiful thing. So I'm not going into where the brain wants to go with, but we don't want to have silence because of the virus, da-da-da-da-da-da. Remember I said there's layers of this experience. One is the brain. Use your intelligence about staying safe, but watch how it wants to, what I call add on. I call things the add-on. What is, and then we have the add-on. And that's the question. What are we adding on about this virus? Stay safe. Be self-loving. But also notice the next layer. Remember, the first is mental. The second is emotional. What are you adding? Is it possible that you're adding emotions that don't even have to do with the virus? What I mean is sense of safety, sense of the world that's out there, the dangerous world that's out there that might have been established for you as a child, or trauma experiences in life that create this visceral sense of danger that isn't even just about the virus. The virus is a stimulant of that stored emotion, and then it's projected onto it. So your emotions, stay with me because I'm going to explain about other emotions that aren't based in the past, that are healthy and earnest-hearted. So mind, emotions that might be personal emotions from your past that are being projected here, if you allow that to dissolve for a second, stay current, stay here. Then there's another layer. There's the primitive brain which wants to survive and wants this body to survive. So it's throwing up energy as well. It's causing adrenaline and cortisol to be released, other hormones and stress hormones. In this moment, as you're watching this video, can you be open to the possibility that in this moment there is stillness? If you don't add on to the moment into the future or the past, how things used to be or how things might be. Take a breath with me. Hold it for 4 seconds. Relax the shoulders and breathe out. Come home. Be here. One more time. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Thich Nhat Hanh always says, feelings are like clouds in a windy sky. They come and go. Conscious breathing is my anchor. It's Thich Nhat Hanh. So here are a couple of the things I've shared with my clients this week when they were dealing with the coronavirus. Notice the difference between preference and attachment. The attachment to how it used to be. The wishing it wasn't this way. Those are emotion-producing senses of being. It shouldn't be this way. I wish it wasn't this way. Why isn't it like it used to be? Now, those thoughts are not an issue. The thoughts are not the issue. It's the attachment to them and then investing in them into a virtual reality of what used to be or might be. Do you understand? Those thoughts may come and go, but just notice whether you get on them like a horse and ride them through their crazy landscape. Now, stay with me, because this is really important. The first way of addressing this COVID-19, the coronavirus, this worldwide event, the first is be safe, be intelligent, be in the mind about what makes sense. As I said, wash your hands, social distancing, stay home from work, if you have that ability. But and other intelligent things. Stay healthy, keep your immune system as strong as possible, rest well, breathe to go to sleep. Sometimes I teach my friends and clients how to breathe this box breathing, and they say, I'm sorry, last night I did it, but I didn't finish because I fell asleep. Use it to calm your nervous system. So do these things. That's the mental layer. The other layers, the emotions. See your personal emotions you might be projecting onto this. Release them as best you can. Have honor for them, compassion for them. But then there's the layer of the primitive brain which is kicking in about survival. Notice that. Be gentle with it. Use your breath to calm that nervous system that the amygdala, primitive brain, is connected to. Come back home to the present moment. So mental, emotional, survival, and this other fourth, I didn't say that in the title, but the fourth layer is not a layer. The fourth level is home. It's not a level. It's the infinite that's looking through the temporary nature of this world. It's the infinite you. It's the nature of your very being, the emptiness between the electrons and aspects of your atom. The atom, the very building block of the universe, is actually mostly empty. That's the infinite, personified as you. So continue meditating. Continue finding stillness and silence. Keep returning home. That's the fourth element. Mental, be smart. Emotional, honor, have compassion for your humanness. But also see where some of those are based on your life story and not even the virus. Take this as an opportunity. So here are some real steps. Take this as an opportunity for the evolution of your own soul, of the evolution of your consciousness. Understand everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Even this virus. It may be here for a long time, days, months, years, maybe. We don't know, but everything, your life is even temporary. The physical body's all going to die anyway. Ideally, it doesn't go in this way, but everything is temporary. Find solace in that as opposed to fear. Find solace in the recognition, the bubble bursting, that thought that everything was timeless. Everything's made of the timeless. Everything is made of infinite consciousness. But its appearance and its form, its modulation of energy of the universe is temporary. So here are a couple last tips. And I really hope this is helpful for you. Remember the layers of experience: mind, emotion, survival, and then home, the eternal sense of being. Notice the difference between preference. You would prefer that this wasn't happening, but the attachment is what causes the emotionality. If you are home and isolated, be sure you connect with friends. Be sure you connect with friends. Call those just for no purpose, no reason but to check in, and not just to talk about the virus. Do that, connect, but also talk about life or love. Be sure you tell those that you love them. Take this as an opportunity to be more earnest, more present than you've ever been with friends and loved ones. That's an evolution of your consciousness. Use this as that opportunity. And those are all my major points. Know that there are layers you're responding to this virus from, and do your best to use breath to return home, to the stillness within. You have to make some decisions during this time, whether to gather, whether to go out. I have to make decisions about getting an MRI for my back. I've debated that. But then again, I've really looked deeply inside, and I'll probably go with social distances, not touching my face, washing my hands before, during, and after, because I want to take care of my back. And that's how I feel in this moment. When I go, or when I consider going and I'm getting dressed, I might change my mind. But I have to let that be okay, and then deal with the consequences. You understand? Instead of having this tornado of emotional spinning, come back to stillness as best you can and find a sense of self-love, self-being. So for those of you that would like to write a word or two right now, I invite you to write something, just letting me know that you're there, that this is of value. I see people still arriving. That's wonderful. I invite you to watch this whole episode. I hope it brings you a greater sense of peace and action and ways to deal with this in an intelligent way, but without the tornado of emotionality that's easy to get lost in. So if you're going to be home and isolated, don't watch the news 24/7. Be sure you express love to those that you love. Hey, Terry. Understand the difference between preferring it wasn't this way and being attached to how it used to be or might be. If you're isolated, be sure you connect with friends and family. Stay connected. Don't let your mind be your only friend, so to speak. My pleasure. Thank you all that are sending thank yous and hearts. I really appreciate that. Remember, everything is temporary anyway, so take care of yourself and remember your greatest friend, the deep, quiet well that you are. So let's complete right now. Thank you for all of you that are sending messages and hearts. I love you too. Let's take just a moment to unify or recognize our unified reality through our breath, through the stillness that's here. Breathe in and blow out the oxygen. Now we're going to do 2 box breaths. Breathe in, hold it 4 seconds. Release the air through your nose. You're massaging your nervous system, which is the rest and digest. Hold your breath. And breathe in. Hold. Notice the stillness and quiet. Breathe out. Hold. Let's do one more for good measure together in the love that we are. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Gently and lovingly. The oxygen that is our survival, our breath, the invisible, which is our source. Air is a symbol of the invisible, which is our source of being. Stay more aligned with that than ever before in your lifetime. Stay aligned with your source of being more than ever in your lifetime. And you'll find you'll be drinking from the deepest well, your own being, regardless of what's happening in this world. So I send each of you that have been here, that have been saying, I'm real grateful to you for being here. Thank you for your sweet notes and hearts. Please do continue to comment. I stay here afterwards on my computer and respond. Take good care of yourselves. Remember where home really is. It's not out there. It's inside. Remember to use box breathing even twice or 4 times to come back. So with that, I leave you for now. I'll see you next Friday. If you want to watch others of these, feel free, but take a moment even after this video. Be still. As it says in many scriptures, be still and know. Lots of love to each of you. Say hello afterwards, and I'll respond. And until next time, peace. Watch this over and over if you need to at any time to be reminded of who you are.